Are you ready to become awesomer? Hello everyone, this is Umar Hamid, your host, and welcome to the No Limit Selling Podcast, where industry leaders share their tips, strategies, and advice on how to make you better, stronger, faster. Get ready for another episode. Hello everyone. Today I've got the privilege of having Joe Pici. He's an expert at landing appointments and making sales, and I'm so excited to talk with him. Joe, welcome to the program.
Umar, it's an honor. It's great to know you.
So the thing I'm most intrigued about, like the subject matter itself, but tell me about how you became a global guru, the top 30 in the entire 8 billion people. Tell me about that.
Well, quite frankly, we don't know. 3 years ago, I was speaking for the National Football League on how to help athletes transition out in Las Vegas.
Nice.
I went on my computer and it said, congratulations, you've made it to the top 30 of global gurus in the top 30 for sales training and speaking. So I thought it was bogus. All right. I told my wife, I said, this is like when our kids were coming through school and they wanted you to pay $500 to get them on the National Honor Society.
Yes.
But she checked it out and she said, Joe, this is for real. These are the elite. Well, then I'm sorry.
Oh, please go ahead. Then last year
I was number 3, and then this year I got ranked number 1 in the world as sales trainer, and our training program, our Rapport Mastery Sales Training Program, has been ranked number 1 in the world.
That is brilliant. So let's well, first, congratulations.
Thank you.
And 2, let's dig down deeper into this, because I think I was doing a presentation to about 140 sales managers, and I asked them, okay, this is the sales process plus or minus. Get the appointment, do the presentation, handle objections, close the deal, and deepen into the account and get referrals. And they went, okay, plus or minus, that's what it is. Where do your people struggle the most? 2 things tied for top place. Number 1 was landing the appointment. And I said, okay, how much revenue is left on the table if people can't get enough appointments? They said 50%. The other runner-up, the tied for, was closing the deal, and of course that adds 50%. But if you can't get enough appointments, it's called being unemployed. So talk to me about that. How do you get people to pick up the phone and make those calls? What does that process look like?
What you do, Umar, is so much harder than what I do because you have to work between your ears.
Yes.
Okay? You're changing a culture. You're changing a mindset. Whereas what I decided to do years ago was if I could improve skills.
Yes.
And get traction right away, then I could prove to that person, that company, that it was worth keeping me around, all right, to fix things long term. So when we put together our training, we knew that you had to generate leads. We have 21 ways we generate leads, okay?
Right.
Then you had to be able to take those leads and convert them to appointments.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when we studied sales, we realized the single biggest challenge was a person picking up the phone and getting a qualified appointment. I didn't say appointment, but a qualified appointment.
By the way, Joe, this is an old joke I've used in the past, but I'm going to bring it up again. How do you get a salesperson to shut up?
I don't know.
Hand them a phone.
That's good. Can I steal that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we decided, okay, the next one is doing consultative presentations and then the proposal and the close and all that. But what we knew that their big challenge was their messaging was not good and
Right.
their lead generation was not good. So what we decided to do is really focus on how to create value propositions. And then in the world of sales, many people sell from charisma and talent, which I have neither. So I had to build a sales process out of processes, communications, and skills. And see, I could teach anybody that. I can't teach everybody what you teach.
And I think what's true is that we all suck at something. and we're all good at something. But I think your piece of the sales puzzle is vitally important. So let's talk about that. So you get, I think before we went on air, you were telling me that you did a boot camp recently with 20 people in that camp. So walk me through the opening of the day where people are like, I want to get good at this, but I really don't want to do this. So walk me through that initial part, and then let's break that down.
The first thing, there are two components. You get two different types of training. You have, if you go into a corporation where they have to be there.
Yes.
And then when people come into our boot camp, they're paying their own way, so they're volunteer. So that automatically, that changes the game. But everybody who walks in that room usually has some challenge with making calls. So we don't walk right up to the phone. We don't hand them scripts. It's a 3-day intensive whereby we handle communication styles.
Yes.
But then we really get into messaging. What do you say to a gatekeeper? What do you say to get a return phone call? But we don't just hand them a script. We really drill down and get to the core of their business, the benefits they deliver. So then on day, and then we do big thing on lead generation, because here's the other thing I will tell you. Once a salesperson masters the phone, now they have a real problem. They got to get leads.
Yes.
All right. Because if you're really making outbound calls, you're going to go through a lot of names.
Yes.
Well, on day 3, everybody, and I only allow 20 people in this boot camp, everybody is calling people they've never called before, okay, B2B as well as B2C, and we never have ranked under 72% conversion to appointment. We always are over 90% getting through the gatekeeper. The other thing is we do that in the morning, and that afternoon we'll get 60, 70 return phone calls. So it's just like anything else. If it's what you focus on, and look, I'm not afraid of the phone. I'm good on the phone. The key is, can I translate to the other person, and can they get mastery getting appointments?
So, Joe, give me an example. May not have been this boot camp, but another one. Tell me about a specific person. You can change their name to protect the innocent, but tell me about somebody that came in that wanted to learn, was not sure they could, and how you walked that individual through the process. So by day 3, they're getting appointments.
Out. Many, many years ago, I had a guy come to our boot camp who was big time. He had a big construction company.
Yes.
He had been to Tony Robbins and Chet Holmes. He had spent $200,000 in 2 years on personal growth. He comes to our boot camp. He had never been trained on making outbound calls. Most of his business was referrals. Well, he hit a home run. He got some great stuff. Well, years pass, and I get a phone call from him one day. His name is Scott. He says, I'm sending my administrative assistant to your boot camp. Here's what I want her to be able to do. He had taken his methodology and packaged it into a licensing form for water intrusion for high rises.
Yes.
So he wanted her to book appointments with CEOs of construction companies, and he wanted also her to sell seats to his licensing program. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't mean to be demeaning, but this was a 72-year-old grandmother that 5 weeks before was working at a bakery. She had never as much sold a Girl Scout cookie.
But in bakery, she was had a lot of dough there. But anyway.
That's good. So she walks in, and honestly, I didn't even know who she was. I had never seen her. Mm-hmm. And she looked like a 72-year-old grandmother. I mean, and she walks in, and I almost said something stupid, which I'm really capable of doing, okay? Well, I had an NFL player in a room with his wife, and they were really big into apartment complexes in Houston. And he looked at me and he goes, you're stealing money. How could you sell her a ticket?
How could you, Joe?
I said, I didn't sell her a ticket. Her boss sent her. I said, but I'll tell you what, if she doesn't book appointments on day 3, I'll refund your money. So she went to
hold that there. Now, that is you walking your talk. You're telling this NFL player if she doesn't book appointments,
Right.
I'm going to refund you your money,
Right.
which is freaking amazing. So
Well,
please
it's
go
not
on.
because, you said something to me earlier today that really resonated. You said, well, you guys are all alike. You stand in the middle of a room and you make calls. No, that's not what the key is. The key is, can I get them on the phone? Can
Well,
they make
absolutely.
calls? So
That's the only thing that counts.
we go through the training the first day. She's scared to death.
Right.
She also, if you understand the communication styles, and I know you do, you're well read, and I know what you do, so you understand communication styles. She is slow-paced, people-oriented, very shy. Day 2, we dig into the market. We get to scripting. We dig. Day 3, I spread all the tables out so it doesn't sound like a call center.
Right.
The hotel allows me to use the lobby. I spread people out, but I put her in the corner, and I walked up to her and I said, Mary, you're really going to be very good at this today. She goes, I've never done this and I'm scared to death. I said, Mary, focus on the process. Just execute the process. You win by dialing and executing the process. All I want you to do is read the script. And I said, let me tell you something. I'm really good at this and I'm not going to let you fail. Well, she goes over in her little corner, and an NFL guy and his wife, before they get on the phone, they're just watching her. And they're watching me, and they're watching her. She booked 10 appointments, and she sold 10 seats. And each time she would do it, she would go like this, oh my gosh, I'm so afraid. Right?
Yep.
Because here's the key to that. It's not what's special about Joe. It's what's special about the process.
Yes.
Processes, communications, and skills can be taught and they can be learned.
So let me pause you there. I agree with you, Joe. Pick any 100 corporations, small ones, big ones, little ones, and they all know about process, but I'd be shocked if 10% of them actually have a process that's being used.
You're exactly right. No, you're right.
And that's one of the reasons they don't succeed at the level they should. So do you customize the process for each individual person, or the messaging is different, but the process is the same?
The process is always the same.
Nice. That's why
it's the messaging. It's the value proposition. It's maybe the way they write a proposal, but sales is very simple. It's where are you getting your prospect leads from?
Yes.
How are you getting them to the table? Right now everything is virtual. I've been selling virtually for 30 years.
Right.
85% of my clients don't come from Orlando.
By the way, I've been virtually selling for 30 years.
Yeah.
That was a joke. Please go on.
So the whole idea is that the process of virtual selling and the process of face-to-face selling is the same. The only difference is you sit with them, or, before Zoom was popular, I closed our biggest contracts over the phone.
So let's pause there just for a moment. So let's go back to Mary. So Mary has been there. She's scared to death. She's gone 2 days. She's ready for the third day. She has no lead generation because basically...
No, she had to bring names with her.
Ah.
He provided...
Where did she get the names?
He provided the list because he knew the construction companies he wanted to go after.
Brilliant. So, but they were a cold list.
They were cold list.
So, good. So she gets this cold list. She's basically dialing for dollars. And so walk me through the process. Like, let's say she got to the gatekeeper.
Let me say I'm calling you. Let me just say I call you. First of all, getting through the gatekeeper is the game. But if I call you.
And you get through to me.
I ring, answer the phone.
Hey, this is Umar.
Umar, this is Joe Pici of Pici and Pici. Is this a good time?
I guess.
Okay, let me tell you why I call. I specialize in helping speakers, trainers, and consultants take their talent and intellectual property and make money with it.
That sounds interesting.
Would it be worth 15 minutes for me to show you how you could monetize your talent? Say no. No, say no.
No, of course not. No.
Next. My closing ratio is 92%.
Right.
Why? Because only people that sit down with Joe are people that it's their idea. So when I said to Mary, you don't have to overcome an objection. You don't have to talk people into the meeting.
Right.
You're fishing, you're not hunting.
Mm-hmm.
She said, you mean no is okay? No is okay.
That took a lot of pressure off?
The pressure was off. She went, I said, and you're not a failure. So we spend, on day 2, we spend 6 hours on digging into their target market, their value propositions, their scripting, their uniqueness. By the time they get done with that, they have a whole new understanding of who they are, who they're going after, and what they deliver.
So Joe, what a lot of people do is, this is my company, and we have the best product, and we have the best service, and this is what's important to me, and this is what our thing does, and they talk very much about themselves or the value they see from their point of view. And it sounds like when you were talking to me, I'm a speaker, I'm an author, I'm a consultant. The way you pitched it to me, it was as if you were in my mind knowing this is top of mind for me. So how do you get people to really think of their offering from the customer's point of view, so when they actually have that conversation, people go, yeah, I want to talk to you?
Because
how do you get them there?
It's got to be from the client's point of view 100%.
But how do you teach that?
Well, first of all, we teach them to understand their client.
Right.
And what is it that their client probably wants most? So, for example, if you were an insurance agent, I specialize in helping insurance agents attract and retain quality clients. Now, if you don't want that, you don't want me.
Right.
All right. So, I mean, this is so simple that people say it won't work. You got to talk a lot. It's the same thing when I do a sales meeting. 85% of the sales meeting is the client talking, not me.
It should be. Well, in your case, it is, but for other people, it should be.
And so the thing you're saying is, we all agree on this, is that what's common sense is not common sense. Most salespeople think, I'm going to get a 52-deck slide presentation.
Yes.
I'm going to go in there and run the deck, and it's going to be all about our company, our products, and very little about you. And the people are polite, and thank you very much, and yeah, we'll take a proposal, and then nothing happens.
Yeah, I'm not sure who said it. It might have been Mark Twain. We'll say it's Mark Twain. Common sense is the least common sense of all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, Joe, you've got a proven process. How long have you been doing this?
Oh, my gosh. I started selling in 1992. But here's the other thing. When Dawn and I opened up Pici and Pici as a training company, because we used to do keynoting all over the world.
Right.
We said we would never speak or train or coach on anything we don't do.
Makes sense.
So, whatever we do is what we train, what we coach on.
Makes sense.
So first I had to learn how to sell. The problem was, when I got into selling, everybody was doing more motivational stuff. It was all mindset and motivation, and there's nothing wrong with that. But eventually somebody's got to make money. And yeah. I don't care how motivated I am. If I can't pick up the phone to get an appointment, I'll get really unmotivated fast. So we looked at that and we said, okay, we learned how to sell. I was terrible on the phone, and I said, if this is so hard, let's get great at this.
Right.
And so once I mastered selling, then we had a big gulf of, oh my gosh, we need more leads. So we started really working on multiple ways to generate leads.
You said 21, I think, earlier.
Yeah, LinkedIn creates our highest, our best client leads.
And so walk me through that, because a lot of people love LinkedIn but don't know how to use it.
Okay, I'm not being evasive, but I'm telling you right now, I can't walk you through how to use it on a podcast. I can tell you this.
Yeah.
99% of the people using LinkedIn are either using it like a commercial to drive inbound, or they're selling through you. They want to sell through LinkedIn by writing you stuff.
Right.
So here's the secret. My wife created a system for us on how to make it an outbound lead generator. I get them offline as fast as possible, and I use my phone skills.
Nice.
So that's our biggest clients have come from generating a lead on LinkedIn and me picking up the phone and going to work.
Brilliant. Joe, one of the things we chatted about is that you have a course coming up that people can actually attend for free to figure out how you do what you do. Tell us about that. And how
we have in fact, it's coming Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's a very short window here. The 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th. It's 15 minutes a day on demand. It's webinar training. Okay.
Nice.
And so for people to get to that, all they have to do is take out their phone and type the word sales edge, one word, sales edge. Text it to 55678.
55678, and we're going to put that in the show notes so people can just go click on it, and we're going to release the show.
And then it'll go to a link, go to a splash page, scroll down, and it'll actually have free 5-day webinar. It's only 15 minutes a day. It's on how to recapture lost revenue through virtual selling. I
love it, Joe. Joe, it was a pleasure chatting with you. You're a master at your craft.
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward to our next conversation.
Well, let's stay in touch. And if you need anything from me, you just call me.
Thanks, Joe. If you enjoyed this episode, please go to iTunes and leave a 5-star rating. And if you're looking for more tools, go to my website at nolimitselling.com. I've got a free mind training course there that's going to teach you some insights from the world of neuro-linguistic programming, and that is the fastest way to get better results.